And in the co-main event, we got the vacant bantamweight title on the line. We're going to see who's the successor of Amanda Nunes in this division. We got Raquel Pennington taking on Mayra Bueno Silva. And Raquel Pennington, she's already had one title shot before against Amanda Nunes. Had to really battle her way back to this title shot. It's been quite a few years since then. She's racked up I think a 6-fight winning streak at this point. So she's been killing it. She's been doing really good. 35 years old though. This is really going to be her final opportunity to get this belt strapped around her waist. And she has a tough opponent across from her in Mayra Bueno Silva, who's streaking right now, who's moved up to 135 and looked really good. She's finished all the opponents that she's fought since coming up to 135. At 125, she really didn't perform the greatest. I mean, she was kind of up and down. She had some kind of questionable fights where she lost to Marina Moroz. She had a decision draw with Montana De La Rosa. So moving up to 135 seemed like it's definitely been the proper decision. And she's looked a lot better. Even in her last fights at 125, I feel like she looked better, like when she fought Manon Fiorot. Even though that fight, she kind of annoyed me with her game plan in certain aspects. I think she still looked good. But getting back to this fight, this matchup, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, both these girls have paths to victory, if you ask me. You look at Raquel Pennington's path to victory. Since her first title fight, I think she's gotten a lot more athletic. She's gotten faster, more mobile, and she still gets backed up a lot, way too easy for my liking. Like, she'll put herself up against the cage, but she has a really nice jab. She has one of the best jabs in the division, I feel like. And then she also has a really nice straight right hand. So she likes to move around, try to counterpunch you, and then she'll close the distance with these switch stance, kind of odd angle combinations, and she can land on you. I mean, it's kind of awkward, but she can get it done. She's also starting to mix in a little bit more kicks, leg kicks, body kicks, which she used to never throw kicks in the past. So that shows some good evolution in her striking game. And her boxing defense is good. She has good boxing for the division for sure. And she also likes to obviously press you against the fence, hold you there. That's been kind of some things that people don't like about her. She can make fights boring in that way. I don't think she really has the best wrestling. I mean, some people are assuming that she's going to try to use a wrestling game plan to win this fight, and I don't see that happening necessarily. I mean, maybe she'll try to mix in some clinch control time like I was just talking about, but she hasn't gotten more than one takedown in a fight in the UFC in a long time, and I think she's only done it once, and she just doesn't really have the best technique on her wrestling. I think Mayra Bueno Silva has also gotten a lot better with her defensive wrestling, but for Rocky to win this fight, I think she just needs to be on her movement game. She can't get backed up. She can't let Silva kick her and not return with anything and just be kind of a stationary target. And she has to be sharp with her jab and sharp with her counter right hand. And when she gets backed up, she needs to throw combinations to get off the cage or circle off really quickly to not be kind of in that danger zone. And for Mayra Bueno Silva, she's one of the most dangerous fighters in these female weight classes. Because she can get it done on the ground on top, off of her back. She can get it done with knockouts on the feet. She can get it done with standing submissions. So she's live to finish you everywhere. In the clinch, on the ground, at distance. She's just a very dangerous fighter. And she, on the feet in this fight, needs to be more active. I mean, the one gripe about Mayra Bueno Silva that I would say that really is annoying sometimes is she'll just walk girls down and not do anything. She's not throwing any punches. She's coming forward with nothing. So fighters can just land on her, stick and move, and she's just kind of like a walking target dummy. And it's like, you got to throw punches. You got to come in with strikes. But recently, and what I think she needs to do in this fight is throw kicks, man. Those kicks are going to be the difference maker in the fight. I think she could really have a lot of success with that. The front kicks to the body, the leg kicks. If she's active with her kicks, controls the distance well, and doesn't just close that gap with nothing there where Rocky can land the counter punch and get out of the way, she should be able to really tear apart Rocky with the kicks. And then when Mayra gets into the fight, gets aggressive, and starts letting her hands go, she has some real power. So I think she could hurt Rocky and kind of make Rocky a little bit less willing to sit down and really land those counter strikes. And if she starts to land leg kicks, then I think it could take away a lot of the movement from Rocky as well. And one area where I think that Mayra Bueno Silva is going to be able to kind of take away from Rocky Pennington that other fighters haven't been able to, and I don't think Rocky's going to want to go to this at all, is really a lot of clinching, because I think Mayra Bueno Silva is nasty in the clinch with her knees, with her elbows. She stays active, and I think she'll tear Rocky apart in the clinch. I think she's going to be able to have a lot of success in that area. If they're clinched up, I feel like Mayra's going to do more of the damage. Elbows are also going to be there, and I don't think that Rocky's even able to hit the takedowns. If she does, Silva could get tired, or Silva could get the submission. It's kind of a 50-50 proposition. That would be taking a risk with Rocky where, hey, I could go this route, I could get a takedown or two and win the fight by breaking Mayra Bueno Silva, gassing her out, or I could get caught in a front choke, I could get caught in an armbar, and I just don't think that Rocky has the wrestling to want to go that route and be confident in it. So I think it's going to be more of a stand-up fight. And I think that Mayra's a dog. I feel like she could really dig down deep and make it a war. And we saw already in Rocky's first fight for the title that she has a little bit of quit in her. And I feel like in this one, because of that, she's going to be really tough and want to stick in there and go the full distance. So I think she's going to be hard to finish. But I just feel like if this becomes a dog fight, that Mayra's going to dig down a little deeper. And I also kind of feel like Rocky Pennington, she's been a little bit of a ball dropper in the big moments. Like when she's fought UFC champions, I think she's lost all those fights. And this obviously isn't a UFC champion across from her in Mayra Bueno Silva yet, but it's a UFC title fight. It's a huge matchup in terms of just where they are on the card and what it's going to be for the future of their careers. So I could see, Jessica Andrade kind of dropping the ball a little bit. I mean, you look at her career, she did beat Jessica Andrade once, but she also lost to Andrade. She lost to Holly Holm twice. She lost to Amanda Nunes. She lost to Jermaine Durandamy. So it seems like when she gets in these big spots, she sometimes doesn't perform. So I'm going to go with Mayra Bueno Silva, and I'm going to go with her to win this one via decision. I feel like she's going to be maybe in a tough fight early where Rocky could win maybe a round, maybe two of the first three rounds, but I think ultimately Mayra's going to do the damage with the kicks, and I think at the end of the fight when they're both tired and they got to dig down deep and someone has to really come away and show the judges something to give them to win the fight, I think it'll be Silva. So give me Mayra Bueno Silva here to win in a good fight, competitive fight via decision.